Welcome to Channel AMEC, your insight to the Australian visa system. Good day everyone, my name is Carl Young, your online YouTube visa consultant. Are you interested about migrate to Australia? Why don't you consider to subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell on the side, so once we have all the updates and news, you'll be the first one getting all the insight. Now today's video, it's Monday, it's the 5th of June 2023, only a couple of days to go until we hit that new financial year of 1st July. So I'd like to get some updates, although there hasn't been much of a news, but I do expect there will be some new policies and regulation to be announced between now and obviously July. So it's exciting month. Well, always been exciting because the changes are always good, isn't it? So I would like to get some updates of some number. The number is actually extracted and on the Freedom of Information. That will be solely on the skill migration from 189 to 190, 491, and also to the GTI. This has been a lot of interest about knowing the GTI's number. So I'd like to get some update for you. Now let's get into this first information. It's dated back in February 23rd, so obviously this is not the most updated information, but we can see what is actually happening there is that the total of the 189 has been lodgements and also on the grant. Let's just focus on the grant number, although it's very tiny, but I can tell you here, right here, for the 189, it's about 20+ thousands since July last year until February. And for the 190, it's really less than what is expected. Remember, the 190 supposed to be having the same amount number as 189, but it seems to be it's not getting anywhere around there, and so as 491. And there has been a lot of numbers on hand, where by means it's the government of Australia is just holding it. Either they are processing it, or it's just don't know, but either they're gonna throw the numbers in. But we do have some more updated information on the total number. It's on the 23rd of February, although we don't have the actual figure in May yet, because you may notice over the past weeks there has been a last invitation round being thrown in. I don't know how much is that one, so I suspect what we have seen, those numbers on hand, supposedly a lot of them is probably not meeting the requirement. Okay, this is the EOI that there's on hand, but see how that will go. But currently what we have seen, the lodge number and plus the grant number, if you can see here from December, January and February, it's about 20+ thousand as well. So remember, the mark is about 35 or 36,000, so it's still a bit short. Now how they gonna catch up with those numbers, it's based on whether they will be fast enough to assess those on hand and get them granted before July, or perhaps they will throw the numbers elsewhere. And that is where I wanted to talk to you about. Sometimes by the end of the financial year, especially between May and June, you will see things being happening. That's why there has been a last invitation round being thrown in. Just wanted to get numbers right. But if still the number doesn't meet the requirements, so you may see the media is all talking about the planned number 195,000. Perhaps they're not even meeting that mark because of the backlog issues and the complexity in processing the visa application. And also you may notice a lot of these applications has been dragged along by Skill Assessing Authority. Remember, a lot of people have forget this, because Skill Assessing Authority is taking so long to actually get assessed. So a lot of application has been lodged, or EOI has been lodged, but pending on the skill assessment. So without skill assessment, you cannot proceed further. So all of these has causing all kind of different delay. And if you can imagine, if there's only going to be 10 application, that's fine, but it's going to be 10,000 application, how much delay that is going to cause, one after one after one. So anyway, that's the current situation. So I suspect the Department of Immigration will then in this month throwing a lot of visa grants elsewhere. Now, whether it's going to be in the family sector, or perhaps I think it's likely to go to global talent, as that is where a demand driven, especially when the Australian government is looking towards a high technology implementation in the future. That's including defense, advanced manufacturing, all the AI, digitech, and all that. So now, next one I would like to show you. This is more updated information. As you may see, this is from not updated, it's still back in January 2023. So what's been happening there, there has been 2,821 GTI launched. Now remember, the actual meeting mark is 5,000. I think they're meeting there, but I think for those leftover quarters is likely to go into GTI by this month. As you can see, the granted number is only 1,588 by at January. But that's only October to January though. So, but I know it's still falling a little bit short. But let's get into this figure here. It's more, yeah, still in February. But anyway, it's the most updated information there. So this is putting into different sectors. As you may notice that this is EOI. So different sectors. There's about 4,904. On hand, but that doesn't mean all of them will be invited. But you may notice that the very large chunk is in digitech, and then the health industry, and then the next one will be financial, and the next one's energy and agri-food. And then so on and so forth, and you may notice that the number of successful and unsuccessful, the balance is right up there. So this is between 2nd of February until the 2nd of February 2023, this whole year. So there were about 18,735 GTI EOI has been submitted, and the success rate is actually less than the unsuccessful ones. So it's about what's this amount? This will be amount about 7,858 divided by 18735, about just less than 40%. So you may notice that that is why the recommendation has been put in by the December 2020 by the Grattan Institute, because they just wanted to make the law and regulation with more clarity. So there must have been a lot of people putting EOI, thinking they probably meet those requirements. Again, the GTI criteria is somewhere a little bit vague. For example, how do you define international achievement? How do you define national reputation? How do you define a job offer? Things like this is really in a gray area. So, and that's why it's causing those kind of unsuccessful EOI. So you got to be very, very precise meeting those criteria. And then moving downwards, we're reading at this numbers of subclass 858 visa granted for each sector. So 2021 there's about 8,000. So since 2022 and 23 on the dated January 31st, there has been 4,000. So the the quota is actually 5,000, so it's less than 1,000 since January. That is why the global talent processing has been slowing down, because the numbers of the quota is only 1,000, less than 1,000 left, and I suspect there's only a few hundred left by today. It's June, the 5th of June 2023. But again, because we have seen the 189 and also 190, especially if we go into the migration planning level, let's have a look. It's still falling short on the general skill migration numbers there. So let's magnify this and let's go in there, have a look. So this is a migration planning level. As you can see, the 2022 and 23, let's read on those numbers. So skill independent 32,100, and regional, that's and also the state nominated is there's a 34,000 and 31,000. So I don't think those number is gonna match up to the this one right there, because there's only a few, and especially on the 190 and the 491, it's not really meeting the migration planning level. So that I will suspect and I predict where those quota will fall straight to GTI, because GTI will be easily identify whether the candidate is meeting the requirement. And there has been a long queue, we notice, still pending to get the GTI. So I think that's where the adjustment will be. Anyway, should you have more question, query, more than welcome to leave comment right down below. I'll see you next video. Goodbye.